128 participants, 200 of them physically in this room, and another 200 joining through Zoom and watching the event through TCR YouTube channel. The participants are coming from all the countries in East African community. We have participants from other parts of Africa and Europe and all over the world. Most notably, our guest of honor, for the local participation, for the first time, we have students from higher institution. I think they are from DIT participating. We think this is very important for increased e-waste management awareness campaign in the country. Our guest of honor, the workshop you are about to cross is our 5th e-waste management awareness workshop running under the theme From Awareness to Action, factoring sustainable e-waste management as a priority toward achieving 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. The workshop provided a platform for stakeholders in the environment and the ICT sector in East Africa to dialogue and review the regional and the global trends on strategies for better e-waste management. Also, the workshop provided a platform for ways of harmonizing regional efforts in e-waste management, keeping in view of the global developments and trends. Honorable guests of honor, in our previous Eaco regional e-waste management strategy, one of the key decisions that we made was for all countries to form what we call e-waste National Steering Committee, which is supposed, among other issues, to raise awareness on e-waste locally and propose issues for harmonization in the region. We are very happy to inform you that, under strong support from your ministry, NEMC and TCRA, this committee is very active here in Tanzania, and we are grateful that Vice President Office has been able to provide senior official to chair this committee in Tanzania. Fellow stakeholders, again, allow me to talk a little bit about statistics, as I did in the first day. Consumption of electrical and electronic equipment is increasing on a daily basis. Emerging economies show fastest growth rates in EEE consumption. For instance, in most countries, 48% of households have computer today. And in our East African community itself today, we have more than 178 million mobile phone users. Increased subscriber in East Africa. Now, this will require the expansion of network, the internet usage, of course, increased online business, multiple devices ownership, growth in cloud computing, short replacement cycle of electronic equipment. These have been the key driver for the e-waste in the region. Distinguished delegates, globally, the Global e-waste Monitor, GEM, estimates by 2016, the annual global consumption of new electrical and electronic equipment was around 60 million metric tons. The consumption and the use of EEE is probably most prevalent in developed countries, but developing countries have also shown a rapid growth of consumption and the use of EEE in recent years. The annual consumption of the new EEE in developing countries now increases by 10% to 25% annually. Now, the GEM estimate also indicate the global e-waste generated reached about 53.6 million metric tons in 2019. Currently, little information is available on the amount of e-waste documented that is collected and recycled by the formal sector in Africa. Only a handful of countries in the continent have enacted a waste-specific policies and legislation. Recycling activities are dominated by ill-equipped informal sector, which related inefficient resource recovery and environmental pollution. In Tanzania, in the statistics survey of 2019, it's estimated by 2017, Tanzania at about 35,000 metric tons of e-waste generated. Most East African countries are currently developing various models of extended producer responsibility scheme as part of their solution to the e-waste problem. Other solutions discussed in this workshop include the adoption of 5 Rs as countries or as organizations. These includes reuse, reduce, repurpose, reuse, and recycle. In terms of recycling, more advanced methods and infrastructure should be adopted and implemented in our region. Our guest of honor, since this will be my last time to speak to the delegate, allow me to wish all participants who are traveling back to their home countries or to their regions a safe trip back home, and for those who are staying, a safe stay here in Dar es Salaam. Lastly, I want once again to thank the guest of honor and all of you for accepting our invitation. Thank you. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Dr. Simba. I would now like to welcome Ms. Olivier Nakamate from Uganda Communications Commission, UCC, to come and give us a summary of 10 key points from the workshop. Olivier, you're welcome.
Okay, sorry about the delay. Before you is Nakamata Olivia. I welcome our guests and delegates distinguished, plus the participants at large, on this theme of the 50th Eaco Regional E-Waste Workshop on Sustainable Waste Management in East Africa. It started on the 20th to today, which is 22nd March 2023, here at Serena, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The theme of the workshop, from awareness to action, that is factoring sustainable e-waste management as priority towards achieving 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. This workshop was attended by many participants, physically and online, from Eaco member states, Africa and Europe. The stakeholders involved were East Africa member states and partners, lawmakers, policymakers in relevant government ministries, local governments, county governments, environment and ICT regulators, national standard bodies, ICT service providers, those are the operators, private sector player or recyclers, academic or training institutions, consumers of ICT services, and public at large. So the 10-point at Tanzania Declaration, 22nd March 2023, here are the takeaways obtained from the discussion and interaction on different topics on e-waste management. The workshop proposed 10-point recommendation on sustainable e-waste management in East African region. One of the points that was recommended is to encourage member states to continue conduct awareness to the public stakeholder on challenges and opportunities on e-waste management. Secondly, the enhancement of collaboration, research, innovation, and initiative on e-waste management in institution and public is also key. Government to consider allocation of a budget for e-waste management in order to conduct more awareness and funding on e-waste management projects. Member states are encouraged to adopt the PP and use of ERP to resource for funds to implement e-waste management projects. There is need to support inclusion of e-waste management in the curriculum from the low to high institutions of learning in today's education. Create e-waste statistical framework for region and harmonize the members of data collection in order to sustain e-waste management. Member states are advised to continue with implementation of second region e-waste management strategy of 2022 to 2027 while sharing their experience and success such that other countries can copy a leaf from whatever experience they have, since the scope is wide and people are at different stages. Formulation of specific laws on management in e-waste is encouraged. More especially, the EPR is recommended as one of the potential tools in improving WEE management within the region. The success, however, of EPR policies will depend on a large number of factors. These are regulatory enforcement, stakeholder engagement, and availability of recycling infrastructure or facilities. More so, capacity building for all stakeholders in e-waste management is key in all issues of e-waste management. Lastly, we have the member states encouraged to refer to the recommendation of ITUT L121, which is on extended producer responsibility, and it's about guidelines to sustain e-waste management. This one will hope to offer a description of extended producer responsibility systems in dealing with e-waste. More about ICT, green ICT programs or knowledge, you may refer to the link, which is also given below, that will help people to widen their knowledge on e-waste management. Thank you. That's all that I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olivier from UCC. I would now like to welcome Dr. Emmanuel Manasseh, representing DGTCRA, for closing remarks. Karibu, Dr. Manasseh.
Honorable Hamisi Hamza Hamis, Deputy Minister, Vice Presidency Office responsible for Environment, Dr. Omar Shijak, Principal Secretary, First Vice President, Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar, Mr. Sheikh Juma, Director General of ZEMA, Representative of NEMKI, Eaco Executive Secretary Dr. Ali Yahya Simba, Othman Sharif Hatib, the Chairman of TCRI Board. It is with great pleasure that I'm standing to thank you all for attending this 3 days workshop that was held here in Tanzania. Honorable Minister, this workshop was opened by Honorable Nape Moses Nauye, the Minister responsible for Information, Communication, and Information Technology. Honorable Minister, this is the well-attended workshop of all 5 workshops that has been held in the EAC. We have 184 participants that attended physically and 240 44 participants attended online. Such a diverse of attendance shows the commitment and the desire to learn so that we'll keep our environmental clean, well-managed, and sustainable. Honorable Minister, I stand here to give a special thanks to the team that made this workshop a success. My special thanks goes to TCRI, ICT Commission, NEMKI, Vice Presidency Office responsible for environment, the first Vice Presidency Office responsible for environment in Zanzibar, ZEMA, for their tireless working to make sure that this conference is a success. Without their coordination and preparation, we would have not reached this time and successful conference workshop. Honorable Minister, we are also grateful to the students from the University of Dar es Salaam Institute of Technology. They've showed a commitment within the 3 days. They have participated, concentrating, and asking questions. This, as Tanzanians, it gives us a confidence that we have a generation that knows the importance of e-waste, and they are committed to make sure that we manage e-waste sustainably. Special thanks to the industry members from different institutions. You have set aside your work and everything to make sure that you participate in these 3 days. Honorable Minister, we are grateful to them, but more thanks to all EAC member states for your participation. Without your participation, all the preparation that we made, all the topics and the experts that contributed to this would have been nothing. But your participation, contribution, discussion, and deliberation are highly valued. Honorable Minister, we are grateful to you for setting aside everything and to make sure that you come to close this important event. This shows your commitment to environment, but also that you value what these EAC members were doing here in Serena for the past 3 days. I don't want to give a long speech, but for those who are going back, please, we wish you a safe journey, but also you can take some time to visit various places. Zanzibar is not far from here. You can do the tourism before you get back to your home country. For those who are staying and going to various regions and in Dar es Salaam, this is not the end, but the continuation of the strategy that we have just inaugurated it 2022-2027. We have the 5 pillars that we need to push and propel, and I believe together with this unity and collaboration we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would now like to welcome the Permanent Secretary, Vice President's Office, Zanzibar, Dr. Omar Shajak, to come and say a few words before you welcome the Honorable Minister. You're welcome, Dr. Shajak.
Guest of honor, Honorable Hamza Khamis, MP, Deputy Minister of State, Vice President's Office, Dr. Ali Yahya Simba, Executive Secretary, Eaco, Mr. Jamal Baruti, representing the Director General NEMC, Mr. Sheham Jaja Juma, Director General, Zanzibar Environmental Management Authority, Engineer Osman Sharif, the Chairman of the TCRA, distinguished delegates, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Guest of honor, it gives me a great pleasure to be accorded this opportunity to welcome you to official close this 3 days workshop, which has been taking place here in Serena. All has been said by previous speakers. So my task is only to welcome you. So without further ado, I feel very much pleased and honored to welcome you to officially close our workshop. Please, you are welcome.
Unfortunately, I'm too short, so I think you can see me, is it? Asante sana. Waheshimiwa viongozi mliokuwepo hapa na wawakilishi wa Eaco kutoka nchi wanachama. Mwakilishi wa Dr. Jabir Bakari, Director General wa TCRA Tanzania. Dr. Ali Yahya Simba, ambaye ni Executive Secretary wa Eaco. Mwakilishi wa mkurugenzi wa mazingira kutoka ofisi ya makamu wa rais, muungano na mazingira. Mwakilishi wa mkurugenzi mkuu wa NEMKI, baraza kuu linaloshughulikia masuala ya usimamizi na uhifadhi wa mazingira. Katibu mkuu kutoka ofisi ya makamu wa kwanza rais katika serikali ya mapinduzi ya Zanzibar, Dr. Omar Dadi Shajak, bosi wangu huyu. Wawakilishi kutoka taasisi mbalimbali za serikali na za binafsi, kutoka private sectors, ninawasalimu kwa salamu nzuri ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Good afternoon. On behalf of Dr. Suleiman Said Jaffo, the Minister from the Vice President Office, Union and Environment, first and foremost, I would like to take this very golden opportunity to thank God for enabling us just be here for these times. Then I would like to thank you, all of you, for your participation from the starting point to the end of this very important workshop. It is a great honor for me to close this 5th Eaco Regional E-Waste Workshop on Sustainable E-Waste Management in the East African region. I would like to start by thanking the speakers, the organizing teams, which I told is comprised with members from the Vice President Office, Union and Environment, the Ministry of Information, Communication and Information Technology, and the Ministry of Works, Transport and Communication from the Revolution Government of Zanzibar, and Tanzania Communication Regulatory Authority, TCRA, the National Environmental Management Council, that is NEMKI, the Zanzibar Environment Management Authority, ZEMA, and the East African Communication Organization, Eaco, for making this 5th Eaco Regional E-Waste Workshop on Sustainable E-Waste Management, hosted here in Tanzania very successfully. Most importantly, I would like to thank you all participants for your attendance and the diligence you have been engaged in, taking into cognizance that without your presence, this workshop will have lost its meaning. So I would like to take this chance also to thank you all for your full participation from the starting point to the ending point. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have been informed that during this workshop, various presentations were made. I take this opportunity to recognize and appreciate the presenter and the facilitators for their wonderful work. It is my sincere hope that this workshop had added a lot to your skills in addressing e-waste management challenges in your organization, that is individual countries and the East Africa region at all. Before coming here, I had just given the short brief about this workshop, and Dr. Ali Yahya Simba told me that you have discussed about so many issues in this workshop, including the issue of law and regulations here, and the issue of how to collect and how to transport, and the issue of how to educate our peoples, because the main challenges on this issue of e-waste, our people still, they don't know the impact of this. They just take it easy. So I'm very happy to see or to hear that in this your workshop you have already discussed about how to take the agenda to our peoples and to educate them on how to control and how to protect on this. So you will use the outcome of this workshop to enhance the national and the regional efforts geared toward the improvement of e-waste management, including working together and sharing of relevant information. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in recognition and support of regional efforts that are aimed toward a sound management of e-waste in East African member states, Tanzania have developed various legal instruments. This included the National Environmental Policy of 2021, the Environmental Management Control and Management of Electrical and Electronic Equipment Waste Regulation of 2021, and the Electronic and Postal Communication, Electronic Communication Equipment Standard and the E-Waste Management Regulation of 2020. Those instruments provide a legal framework for enforcing sound e-waste management in the country, which in turn of contribution to the implementation of pillar of the regional e-waste strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, this government of Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan under the Vice President Office Union and Environment, we used to take so many deliberate measures in order to protect and to preserve environment in Tanzania. Firstly, we used to take effort on electric waste, because this is going to be very huge issue. Also, we used to take so many deliberate measures, especially on the issue of plastic waste, not only on electric waste, but also on the issue of plastic waste. Also, we are still taking so many deliberate measures, especially on the issue of preservation and protecting the source of water, because those plastic waste and electric waste and other waste from the industry, from the mining areas, from others, at the end of the day, they are flowing to the source of water. Resultantly, they destruct the environment and they destruct the ecology in the water. Also, we are taking very effort on how to educate our peoples on how to preserve and to protect environment, because still some people, they think that so many human activities for their life is very good, or of course it's very important, but sometimes some human activities are distracting environment, especially in the source of water. But a very important measure that we used to take, we are taking, and still we are taking, is planting the trees all over Tanzania. So this and others are those deliberate measures taken by the government of Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan under the Vice President Office, Union and Environment, in order to protect and to preserve environment here in Tanzania. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before concluding my closing speech, once again, I would like to thank the workshop organizing team from the Vice President Office, Union and Environment, also the Ministry of Information, Communication and Information Technology, also the Ministry of Works, Transport and Communication, also the Ministry from the Revolution Government of Zanzibar, also the Tanzania Communication Regulatory Authority, TCRA, the National Environment Management Council, that is NEMKI, the Zanzibar Environmental Management Authority, ZEMA, and the East African Communication Organization, Eaco, for very wonderful workshop that make this workshop very successfully. Thank you very much. Last but not least, climaxly, I thank all participants for your time, commitment, and readiness to achieve the intended workshop objectives. I wish you all safe journey back to your home, especially for those coming from our neighbors in the East African member states. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, I now declare that the 5th Eco-Regional E-West Workshop on Sustainable E-West Management in East Africa region, hosted here at Serena Hotel in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, is officially closed. Thank you very much. Asante sana. Merci beaucoup. Shukran lak. Asante sana kwa kusikiliza.
Thank you. A round of applause. Asante sana. Another round of applause for Honorable Minister. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister. Honorable Deputy Minister, with your permission, I would like to welcome Mwiduka. It's a traditional music band from Bear who will entertain us for a few minutes before we come for our photo session. Thank you. Mwiduka. Mwiduka, you are welcome on stage. Mwiduka, tunawaomba kwenye stage. I also like to ask all of you to remain seated because we are going to have a photo session after Mwiduka finishes their entertainment. Robin Ulikae, Mwiduka. So for those who don't know Mwiduka, the music band, the traditional music band, they're from Bear, from Safwa tribe. And here they are. A round of applause for Mwiduka. Mwiduka, karibuni sana. Thank you very much, Mwiduka. A round of applause for them. Thank you. Asante sana. Mwiduka has been here since day one, and we are so grateful for your performance. Asanteni sana na karibuni tena siku nyingine. Now, all right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now for the photo session, I would like to welcome delegates from Kenya to come on the stage for the photo session. Delegates from Kenya. Karibu. Thank you. Thank you very much. Delegates from Uganda.